Good evening, friends. Good day, friends. Whatever time it is where you're watching this from. Today I'm gonna talk about the spirit of lust. I'm gonna talk about the spirit of lust and how powerful it is, and where it started from. So the spirit of lust. I go by the name Watchman of God. So yeah. So the spirit of lust, for you to understand where it comes from, you must understand that it's always been there before you were born. The story started in Israel, when there was a king called Ahab. He married a Samaritan woman whose name was Jezebel. They were married, and Jezebel was cheating behind King Ahab's back. She was sleeping with the bodyguards. She was ruling over him. You know those women that they feel like they're equal to men or they're above men. They have the Jezebel spirit. So the Jezebel's the woman Jezebel, she was against Elijah, the prophet of God. I'm sure you know the story, how she was serving the false god Baal. She was sacrificing kids, babies on the altar and stuff like that. And then there was a big drought. So now that Jezebel from the Bible is the spirit of Jezebel. For you to understand this, you must understand how the spiritual world works. Now, when she died, before she died, she told Elijah, she said, I will have your head on a plate. And then Elijah ran away because he was afraid. And then to fast forward the story, she ended up dying. She ended up losing her life. And then when she lost her life, the devil adopted her. It was the first time ever the devil adopted a human person, because the devil saw the hatred that Jezebel had for God and how he saw a way of using that against God, against us, against me and you. So he put her, Jezebel, in power of the spirit of lust. Jezebel is the spirit of lust. She came back the time of John the Baptist. John the Baptist was Elijah, because Elijah had come back. Because remember, he was taken up in heaven in a whirlwind, in a horse of fire. So he came back as John the Baptist, and Jezebel also came back as the granddaughter of some sort of King Herod or something like that. I don't remember the story. And she ended up doing what she promised to Elijah when he said, I will have your head. So she has been, I'm just going to show you that she has been with the devil ever since she died the first time in the story of Ahab. So now I want to talk about the spirit of lust, now that you know who the spirit of lust is and how it works. So I'm going to show you how it works, because you know who it is. So I'm going to read Proverbs 5, and I'm going to explain as I read. I'm going to try my best to explain what it means. I know I don't want to make it too long, so if I know you guys, you get bored. It says, my son, pay attention to my wisdom. Listen well to my words of insight, that you may maintain direction and your lip may preserve knowledge. So here, he's trying to make you understand what he's going to explain to you. Jesus says, some have ears but do not hear. Some have eyes but do not see. So just because if you read something, you must understand what it means. So you must pay close attention to it. Try to understand what's happening. For the lips of an adulteress drip honey, and her speech is smoother than oil. So it shows you how cunning and manipulative the spirit is. You'll just think it's just you wanting to watch those videos that you shouldn't be watching and doing with yourself what you shouldn't be doing with lotion, whatever that you use. in to do that act. You must understand that a man will leave his mother and father and unite with a woman. So whenever there's whenever there's intimacy, there has to be a soul tie. So when you do that, when you and let's say use lotion or you use a doll or whatever that you use to relieve yourself, you unknowingly tie yourself to the Jezebel spirit. You guys become husband and wife. She becomes your wife spiritually. And that's when you start to see poverty and problems in your life. Because if you invite the spirit through those acts and through those videos. Remember, this is a door. Your body is a door. So when you do these things, you open a door to yourself. The spirit of lust is very powerful. You don't just walk away from it. You need to fight it. You need to flee from it. Don't ever think that you are healed from the spirit of lust. Always avoid things that promote lust. Any women doing things that are not holy, twerking, whatever, wearing seductively, you must stay away from those things. But for the sake of the video, for it not to be too long, I don't want to bore you. Like I said, talking about God in this day of age, people don't care as much. That people are lukewarm. People say that they're Christian, but they do things the world does. They go to clubs, they drink, they sleep around, they listen to secular music, they watch secular movies. You know what I mean? But they're Christians. So it's funny to me, but anyway. It continues, it says, but in the end, she is bitter as gale, sharp as a double-edged sword. So here it says, she is bitter as gale and sharp as a double-edged sword, which means it gets dangerous for you. The addiction gets dangerous. It starts off nicely. It drips honey and its speech is smoother than oil. It starts off nicely. Have you ever watched a video? When you start watching these videos, it starts off, nice. Any video can just get you up there, turn you up, get you in the mood. But as you go on, you start to look for more and more dirtier videos, more perverse. You get those videos when saying, my stepfather, my stepmother, you know what I mean? Those sort of videos. That's when it gets dangerous. Now you're starting to go deeper now. You need something even more to satisfy you. Just a casual intercourse does not get you there anymore. Doesn't satisfy you. You need to see something that's gonna get you up there. That's when it starts to get dangerous. So to understand, I heard a guy who was explaining lust. He says it's like the hunters back in the days. They used to hunt wolves. So what they do is that they would take a knife and then they would pour blood over it, and then they would freeze the blood so that it can be like some sort of like ice cream thing going on, like some sort of candy, like a lollipop thing going on. And then so what the wolf will do, it will come and it will scrape, it will lick the blade. They will stick it to the ground, and the wolf will come and then the wolf will lick the knife, because obviously it's hungry and it's tasting blood. So as the wolf is licking the blood, the blood now starts to get thinner and thinner. So because of their blood is cold, the tongue goes numb of the wolf. As the wolf continues to lick, the blood runs out and it starts to cut itself. So it thinks it's still licking the blood off the knife that it found, but in truth it's licking its own blood. So this is what porn is like. It first starts off nicely and then it starts to take away from you, starts to destroy you, takes away from your soul. So it starts off sweeter. It drips honey and its speech is smoother than oil. And then it gets bitter as grail and it's sharp as a double-edged sword. Continue. Her feet go down to death. Her steps lead straight to the grave. She gives no thought to the way of life. her path are crooked, but she knows it not. So what this verse here means is that she does not care what happens. This spirit doesn't care what it does to you. Doesn't care if this is your last day. It just wants victims. And when you give yourself over these videos, over that feeling that you want to do privately in your room, in your bed, you are giving yourself over to yourself. You're giving yourself over to the spirit. You must fight the spirit. You must stay away from it. Don't try to think that you are stronger. Stay away from it. Pray to God, fast. It takes time, guys. With God, these things, they take time. It can take you up to a month. Remember, with any temptation, it lasts up to 60 minutes. So when that temptation comes, you need to find something that will distract you. Find something that will keep you away from that spirit, from that temptation at that moment. It continues. Now then, my sons, listen to me. Do not turn aside from the way do not turn aside from what I say. Keep to a path far from her. Do not go near the door of her house, lest you give your best strength to others. So now this verse here is very important. It says, keep to a path far from her. Do not go near the door of her house. So what this means stay away from it. Stay away from those videos. Stay away from those women. Stay away from those WhatsApp videos or TikTok videos. Stay away from those graphic videos. You cannot survive. You have to stay away from something. It's like, for example, if you want to quit smoking, you can't hang around with smokers. If you want to quit drinking, you can't hang around with drinkers. You can't go to clubs, right? So why would you want to watch these videos if you want to come away from lust? And here it says, least you give your strength to others and your years to one who is cruel. Lest strangers feast on your wealth and your toil enriches another man's house. So what this means is that, remember, like I said, it's a spiritual tie. So when you sleep with someone, they become attached with you spiritually. They become one with you spiritually. So if that person has a spirit of poverty in their life, you will have the spirit of poverty in your life. So you must come away from them. Come away from such spirits. Remember, guys. Remember, the spirit of lust is very powerful. And then it says, lest your strangers feast on your wealth. So do you see? You're gonna even lose your life, your financial life. It takes away so many things, the spirit. And it says, and your toil enriches another man's house. It's because you're spiritually tied now. If I'm sleeping with a woman who's sleeping with 100 people, I'm gonna be spiritually tied to those 100 women. Then we're all gonna be facing the same problems in life. At the end of your life, I continue reading. At the end of your life, you will groan when your flesh and body are spent. You will say, how I hated discipline, how my heart spurned correction. I would not obey my teachers or listen to my instructors. I have come to the brink of utter ruin in the midst of the whole assembly. You see? So, you need to fast and pray. You need to fast and pray away from this demonic spirit. It takes time for such spirit to leave. But you need to surround yourself with the things of God, guys. Stay away from those videos that show women doing things or those movies. Stay away, cleanse your heart, cleanse yourself. You can't wash your dishwaters, your dish, your anything. You can't wash anything with water that is dirty. You need to find a place where it's clean to wash. So if you want to cleanse yourself, stay away from things that make you dirty. Live your life as if Christ is with you. That's how I choose to live my life. I live my life as if Christ is next to me. I ask myself, will God approve in this what I'm about to do? Whatever it is, whatever decision I'm going to take in life, I ask myself, will God approve of what I'm going to do? If not, then don't do it. When you listen to music, will God approve those music? If not, then don't listen to it. Will God approve this movie that I want to watch? If not, then why are you watching it? So live your life as if God is next to you. Find yourself, guys, in this world. The flesh dies, guys. The flesh dies, perishes, but you are eternal. So don't throw away your eternal life because of these things of fun. So yeah, I hope that I helped someone. It's a battle. You're not alone, but that does not mean it's okay. People will fall. Jesus says, "Woe to sin," but woe to the man that does the sin. So what he's trying to say is that there is sin. He understands that there's sin, and sin has to come through a man. But woe into that man which sins comes from. So he's saying that yes, there is lust, but why do you let it control you? Because at the end of the day, we have free will. You chose to let that spirit to take over you because of you entertaining it. Stay away from it, and you'll see your life will get much better. But I hope I taught someone something, and then yeah, I hope I taught you guys something. Thank you.